back, everybody. The LeSueur, Minnesota swap meet is just up ahead, off to the left. Senior's turning into the campground right now. He's the one just ahead of us. We came in from a different direction this year due to road construction, so I'll let him get out of my way and I'll continue on to the upper end where the vendors all park. And just off to the left here is where we are going. Good solid ground out here so far this year. That's always nice. And now we walk through the woods here to find out where we are going to be living the next few days. Here he is, just getting parked. All right, just like usual, we got Senior all taken care of, so let's head back out to the lineup, see what's here so far. Here's our two lots here and here, where we'll be setting up later. We got some of the old hog oilers here. We'll get into some dirt moving business here, a little grader. Hand crank corn shellers. Little red wagons. Maytag washing machine, mechanical clutch lift parts. We got some old water pumps. Looks like some seat frame stuff in there for tractors. Old hay trolley. Here's a little flywheel engine. It's an early IHC mogul. There's the Circle C. Some anvils. Wagon wheels. Across from that, cast iron seats. Here's something that caught my eye. Look at the styling on this. So a little kid would sit in the seat, little handlebar to hold on to. That's what someone would push it with. But look at the 1930s like slope fenders on all the wheels. Some little beats to play with. That thing's actually kind of cool. And like louvers on the front, all rounded. That screams 1930s era design right there. Oh, and I just noticed it has suspension. Look at those springs. Now here's something I haven't noticed before. This little Maytag engine, and it has the Eisman logo on it, on the flywheel. They must have provided the ignition parts for that.
Yep, Maytag used Eisman.
Old IHC logo, just barely visible in that one yet.
Yeah, if you got the tractor.
Here's an interesting piece, M&W dynamometer. M&W Gear Company. They even have it in the wheel here. A couple John Deere plows. This is probably a 52 two bottom, so the other one's a little bit newer. And that's just single. Here's an interesting piece. It's on a really nice stand. It's the De Laval cream separator. Very nice brass tag on there, but what I like is on the handle, 45 revolutions per minute. So how would people revolt now if not only they had to hand crank it, but they had to count the revolutions at the same time? Different time back then. Neat piece. Pretty decent looking case, VAC. New rubber all around. Pretty good paint. John Deere corn planter, a few of them. And that concludes the walkthrough of, this is late Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, a lot more will be showing up, and that's when they'll let us in to begin setting up. So bring you all back then. All right, everybody, Thursday morning. What do you say, Senior? Should we go see what's there?
See what's happening.
Looks like 4 new rows showed up since yesterday evening. Farmall MD. Weights. Automatic water draining seat. Got some green and yellow. John Deere 2510. Actually not a bad looking tractor, fairly straight. Not for sale, but an old Kenworth cab over. Neat old truck. Flywheel engines. Air cooled right there. Minneapolis Moline trailer. Tanks, fenders, dash, seats. Governors, starters, more seats. Wheels. There's an H.
Well, I've taken Brandon's now.
Old style wheels on that one. These look like old blacksmith forges. 1, 2, 3. It's like 4 of them. That should be the blower. Everyone has a blower on the bottom. Some are pulley driven. This is hand crank. They're kind of neat. 530 John Deere. Again, looks fairly clean and straight. Some wheel weights, sorted other parts down there. And an even cleaner 530 Deere. Looks like older restoration, but good tires. Here, this looks like a braking plow with the rigid hitch and the knife section added and the really super long land side, a big mold board. Here you go, weighing out all your valuables. The Compounding Scale Company, Dayton, Ohio. Old honeycomb radiator cores. Buick and Jewett on that other one. There's a Studebaker core. And a whole trailer load of Deere parts. It's like a B right here. Not sure what that is back behind it. What do we have up here? Farmall 400 gasser. And just back from that, a little 130. 2-piece wheel weights on the rear. Here we got a Moline, looks like a U. You have some Deere stuff on this trailer as well, and a little pull behind subsoiler. Actually, hitch looks pretty good. Beam looks good. Wear point looks good. Here's another little 130. Quite the storied past reflected in its paint. I think it's been red and yellow again. Some nice flywheel engines on carts. Look at the hopper on that one. I like those rain caps up there. We got the command to start engine, so we'll start filing in a few minutes. And I can see the first few raindrops just starting on the windshield. Right on time. There we are. Row number 1 is on the move. We're in row 4, so we've got just a couple minutes left. Row 2 is moving now. Well, look who I see strolling down the lane. Mr. Senior. I was wondering if he's going to make it out here in time. Row 3 on the move now. We're up next.
On the move. We're gonna dive out to the main road right away.
Seeking gravel.
Yeah. There we go. If it gets too muddy and soft, they got a tractor ready to pull them.
Pretty solid so far.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, so here's where we're at this year. We decided to leave the trailer hooked up to the truck and come in here so that the side door of the trailer faces out into the lot. But due to the rain, I think this is about all there is to see today.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, I doubt we're gonna take much out today. It's supposed to rain the rest of today and probably into early tomorrow morning. So I think tomorrow morning we'll finally open up and start taking things out. So I think that about wraps it for Thursday. So bring y'all back tomorrow. All right, welcome back everybody. We're in the truck. I doubt you're gonna see me if I was outside. 5:30 in the morning on Friday, and we're getting a very early start at setting things out because we didn't get anything done yesterday, and the people are due to show up honestly about any time, for sure within the next hour. Excuse me, it's early. For sure within the next hour, and we need to get some stuff out of the trailer before we get busy and start talking if we're going to be set up by noon. So quite a bit of activity out and about. A lot of other people already working by flashlights, so we'll join them, bring y'all back in a bit. All right everybody, it's been a very busy morning. I'll give you a little run through of the lot real quick. So Senior's got a lot of his miscellaneous items up here under the canopy. We got some cans for sale over there, some more metalworking stuff out here, and Senior brought some of his very thick slab wood heavy duty boards. This is solid oak, these are birch, and they've been selling very well. This is all we have left already, just what's on the ground right here. Saw gummer sharpener machine, and Senior threw in a great big fanning mill with a full selection of screens as well this year. So we've just about got the trailer cleaned out. A few more items in here that we could bring out if we get any space, but honestly, Friday sales have been really good today. It's been a whirlwind. It's about 2 p.m. This is the first opportunity I've had to even turn the camera on, so hopefully it continues as it's been. Well, it's about 6 p.m. Friday evening. This is the first chance I've had to leave the lot all day, so let's go take a look around. Little hammer mill right here. That's kind of cool. Some hard rubber cap tires. Oh, sorry, wheels. Plenty of mud down here yet. Well, it's Saturday morning, rather early. The crowds have not really started trickling in yet. Let's do another little walkabout before it gets busy, because I have a feeling once things pick up, I won't make it out of the lot probably for the rest of the day. This says 1913 air starter switch. Starting Bendix there. Oh, neat. Woo! Lots of Minneapolis Moline. Got some 3-point stuff. I dig a little bit. Ooh. Top link. Another top link. Might do some shopping here today. Oh man. Now where have I seen one of these before? Blood Brothers. That one's actually, boy, it's actually not bad. All right, everybody, just like that, we're packed up. Senior's locking the trailer and lots picked up, starting to clear out to both sides. We're deserted all the way to the corner down there. It's probably 6:30 p.m. Saturday evening, and rain is forecast to come back tonight. So a lot of people have been moving out. And how would you say the weekend has went so far?
One of our better weekends.
Yeah, honestly, yesterday was busy. Today was steady.
The heavy stuff we wanted to get rid of, we still had to reload.
Yeah, we still had to load all the heavy and awkward things. It seems to happen all the time, but we did sell a lot of stuff. Very good weekend overall. So might do one last walkabout here for the evening. I'm sure there's probably a lot of open spots out there by now. Just walking along here, this caught my eye. This old blue truck box trailer, because this is a carbon copy of one that my grandparents had on their place when I was growing up. I mean, it is right down to the old custom badging. Oh, this brings back memories. It was even, I mean, the finish was even faded just like this. Huh, crazy how similar that is. Here we go. I have not spotted this one yet. Here's an old sludge pump. This is a Humphreys, but it's very, very similar to the Humdinger that I have on the Stover CT3. Still a pretty good throat on that thing. Yeah, good sized pipe. That is an interesting unit. Little red wagon. Hamilton Greyhound. Lifetime bearings. They lasted longer than the rubber. Yep, lots of them already gone. Just like that, it's all over. All right, bring you all back for a weekend recap. So Senior and I ended up staying at LeSueur through mid-Sunday morning. We didn't take anything else out of our trailer, but we decided to both kind of play hooky, and we did a leisurely final lap around the whole grounds. And even though the vendors were sparse, we both still found some pretty good things to bring home with us. So here's the recap of my haul from the year. I found an extra set of McCormick W4 wheel weights, and you don't find these very often, so I decided to snatch them up and bring them home. I also found, on that trailer, I got a much better top link for X231. This one hasn't suffered a fatal pipe wrench attack, and it matches the one that's in the pile over there, so I think we're fixed up in that department. Here was a Sunday morning find, Minneapolis Moline air cleaner. The mushroom top is pristine, the air cleaner is very good, and this is the same air cleaner that was used on X231. You can see it in the archive photo. So I just decided to pick it up. It just looked like a really handy thing to have around in case we needed it. This is a Minneapolis Moline tractor drawbar mounted trip hitch for a plow. Minneapolis Moline did it opposite of everyone else. Everyone else put the trip hitch on the front of the plow's drawbar. Minneapolis Moline had a solid ring, and then the trip hitch would bolt onto the drawbar. So you can see it's stepped in there for different width drawbars, and just a large center bolt goes through the drawbar pin hole. So that attaches to the tractor, and the solid ring of the plow hitch would come in here, and you'd back into it. It would clip like that, and that's what pulled the plow. When you would strike a rock, it would compress these springs. It would allow this bail to open back up, and the plow would trip off. Or to manually release it, Push down on that top and you can open it right back up. I don't have a use for it, but I just couldn't leave it sit on the trailer. They're too hard to find. I picked up a new reproduction gasoline tank for the Stover CT3 engine on the Humdinger pump unit, as well as a full gasket set, and I found an authentic M&W friction throttle that would fit an HM, Super M, and what have you. So pretty happy with all those scores. And now I've got this whole bench full of items, and these were all dropped off by channel viewers. You can tell we got home just in time. Storms are back upon us, but yeah, I lost count of how many different people I talked to that said, hey, we watch a channel, we enjoy what you and Senior are up to, and we like seeing what you're doing and appreciate the videos, and it seems like it's more every year, and that's a good thing. That's an indicator that we're doing things the right way. So we'll go through these here quick. I want to lead off with this one. A channel fan and his dad stopped in. He handed me this and said, this is for you and Senior. So it says Squatch and Squatch Senior on there. So I folded it out, had a look at it, and he created for us a nice spring farm scene. It is fitting for the time of year. He even added the sun and nice blue sky and tractor in the field, barns in the background, and I was really impressed by this, because anytime someone takes the time to make something for you, there's extra meaning in that for me, and this will most definitely find its way onto the shop wall with all of my other stuff. So thank you guys very much. I definitely appreciated that. Excellent talk too. And we start down on this end. Another channel viewer dropped off some information on armature undercutter supplies. He watched Senior go through the armature lathe rebuilds and our troubles in finding cutters for the undercutter wheel, and here is a company that offers all sizes, all thicknesses. This is Martindale, and they have a website, martindaleco.com. So if anyone's looking for any of those supplies, click on over there. There's your source. And another viewer gave me this binder, and this is a complete set with duplicates in order of the Goodyear Ageless Iron Tractor trading cards, collector cards. The full assortment is all here in this one binder, so that's cool. We've got also this very sensitive, highly accurate, call it inside micrometer, bore gauge possibly. It's accurate down to, or it'll measure down to 5 digits beyond the decimal point. That's definitely closer than any of my old tractors were ever built, but we can put that to good use. Another viewer says, here, I brought to you this box of treasure. It's all Rockford bolts. Everyone knows I'm a sucker for Rockford bolts. And on that topic, another viewer says here, I found these out in the meet and you need these. Rockford bolt cufflinks. I mean, come on. Who knew? Rockford logo up there on the end, and it says complete fastener service, cap screws, hex nuts, lock washers, flat washers, cotter pins, assortments, and merchandisers. On the end, it says Rockford can help. And yeah, these are all silver coated. They're not just any old Rockford bolt. Even on the end of the bolt, and we'll take a picture so you can see it better, says Rockford can help. So these are purpose-built cufflinks that were made from a Rockford bolt and a cap nut. And I mean, just how cool. How cool. Who knew? I just, oh man. Another viewer says, here you are, here's a contribution to the channel. Dropped off a couple of cup brushes for the grinder, and these are the good heavy wire knotted ones that last forever, wear like iron. We can always put them to use. We use the heck out of these things. Fold over locks. Here's a whole bag of fold over locks. Who can go wrong with fold over locks? Am I right? Always fold over locks. Here is it should be a Model T. It's got the Ford logo stamped in the top right up here, kind of hard to see, but Ford is there. This is the tail light, and I believe this is the one that had a wick inside and burned a flame. The fuel would go in the bottom. This front brass bezel flips open, and the wick would be in there, and the smoke or fumes could exhaust out the top. Another cool wall hanger, shelf hanger piece. Here's a whole assortment of end mills and cutters and shoulder bits and step bits and drill bits. And there are things here that this old plowboy's never even seen in his life. I'm not going to lie to you. But all this stuff will come in very handy, extremely handy. Also, here is a combination bench stone for stoning flat surfaces and taking high spots off. And yeah, it's still sealed in the box. It's never been opened. He says, here, you don't have to use a file anymore. So that's going to come in very handy. Literature. Another channel viewer dropped this Ziegler catalog. It's got a date of April 25th, 1955 on the cover. And the Ziegler Company has been the local Caterpillar dealer around these parts forever. And this is a complete catalog of all of the products that the Ziegler Company offered back in the day. And it's not just the earth moving equipment. It's anything from shovels to rail equipment to wash plants to conveyors to shop tools, shelving units, you name it, it is in here. I can spend hours looking through these books. And last summer or last fall, my buddy that rebuilds magnetos recommended one of these automobile and gasoline engine encyclopedias, and a channel member dropped one off. And this is the 20th edition, 1943-45. This is literally an everything mechanical encyclopedia, and the information they have on ignition systems and charging systems and engine works and you name it, it's in here, and then some. Very valuable book. The same viewer also gave us this authentic Bridgeport. It's a number 2 boring head for the Bridgeport mill, and it looks like it's the 5/8 diameter cutter shanks. There's 2 in the bottom, 1 in the end, and you can adjust it out, lock it in position. Awesome tool. This is going to come in handy for sure. And we have some Caterpillar service manuals, literature. Here is D2 tractor parts book 5U. Here is Serviceman's Reference Book for the D311 diesel engine, and the D2 Serviceman's Reference Book for chassis, J series through U series. Now we have different number 41 Cat hydraulic control manuals. We've got 3 of those, installation, service, and parts. Number 44 hydraulic control, installation, operation. The number 42 toolbar for D4 and D2 tractors, installation, operation, and parts for the 42 toolbar. And I think that about wraps it up. So awesome turnout at the show. Awesome show of support for the channel. I can't thank everyone enough for stopping out, taking time, chatting with Senior and I. We can put some faces to some names. And this weekend was definitely a blur. It was the best LeSueur swap we've ever had, not only from a sales standpoint to people standpoint to finding goodies. Really have no complaints on the weekend whatsoever. And once again, just thank you everyone. And if we're able, we'll do it all again next year. So I hope you all enjoyed the recap of the weekend. I know Senior and I had a lot of fun. We're still recuperating, resting up, but it was very good overall. And once again, I thank each and every one of you, and we'll do it all again next year. So hope to see you all back next time, and thanks again, everybody.